My name is Michaela Knight. For my Assume a Disabilities project, I had a congenital right upper extremity amputation with a lower extremity weakness, so I had to use a cane and I wasn't able to use my right arm at all. Being right-handed, I didn't really expect that this would be an extremely difficult project. However, I had to really rely on my left hand to do everything that I was used to doing with my right. So a lot of the times, eating, dressing, and even just writing in class was difficult because when I wanted to pick up something with my right hand, I couldn't because it wasn't there. So during this video, I'm going to show you exactly what it was like to be an amputee at Subway, and this video is going to explain exactly how difficult it was to eat a sub. At first I didn't think it was going to be that difficult, but after reading it and trying to figure out exactly how I was going to tackle this assignment and try and eat in a restaurant, I figured out it was going to be pretty difficult using my left hand. So I hope you really enjoy my video, and I will explain my experience throughout the way. Getting into Subway and maneuvering around the restaurant was fairly easy. The staff members there were very helpful, and they carried my tray over to my table for me because they realized that I couldn't balance it with one hand while trying to move my cane. I wasn't really sure how to tackle the sandwich at first, but I was excited to figure out how to do it. Picking the sandwich up and trying to eat it with my left hand was really difficult. I wasn't quite sure if I should hold it upright or downright, or if I should tackle it going into the side or not. As you can tell, eating like a lady at Subway was nearly impossible to do one-handed. As I was taking a bite out of my sub, stuff from inside my sub was falling onto my plate and into my lap, and I couldn't catch it with my other hand. Since I was only one-handed, I was holding onto the sub, and as it was falling out, I tried catching it as quick as I can. However, I had to put my sandwich down and try and catch it with my mouth. I didn't have a napkin at hand, but I probably would have used one if I did. Overall, this portion of the assignment was a huge eye-opener for me. I never really realized how much I used both hands while eating a sub. I always just assumed I used one hand, and that hand was my dominant hand. When I was forced to use my non-dominant hand, which was my left, I found it very difficult to manage holding onto the sub, trying to eat it, and also pretty much being a lady and catching the food and using my manners while using a napkin to wipe my face as well. Although I didn't use many adaptions while eating the sub itself, there are definitely different things that I could have used to help manage being able to hold it with my non-dominant hand. One of the things that I could have asked is the staff to cut the sandwich a little smaller. When I first got my sub, they just cut it in two, my foot long, they just cut it so it was two halves. Whereas if they had cut it a little smaller, it might have been easier for me to take a bite and to hold onto it with one hand. With it being larger, I felt that things within my sub were easier to fall out and they were more apt to fall into my plate, whereas with a little tiny sub, I might have been able to manage it a little better.